Water is a basic need for human beings, and without it, a lot of other diseases come in.
The Rotarians in Signani Central, it was their appeal focused on a disease called Brule ulcer. When we partner, we come up with the right answers and the right ideas.
Rotary has provided more drinking sources of water than any single NGO in Ghana.
Committee no yajuma ebe no se di Ghana ebe hwe nsu na ma atimi achere amayen.
We have done more than 50 boreholes and have gone into so many communities.
When a Rotarian makes a promise, people here truly believe that we'll keep that promise.
We are serving the needs and making a difference in the lives of people here in Tulsa and around the world. Thank you for joining us on this very special day. And we have to get moving on because Miguel told me right before I came on that he's got a World Cup game he's got to watch at 1 o'clock. So I'm pretty sure the mic will go dead about 12:59. So we're going to go ahead and get going. Before I do that, am I the only one in here that stays up all night wondering why when on the day where we're roasting our president, we're serving steak instead of pot roast? Has anyone else wondered that? No? No? Just me? Okay. Okay, well, we'll move on then. So Jerry Dillon's going to lead us in our song and pledge and our invocation. And then Carl Vincent is going to introduce our visitors. Jerry.
Let's sing together, "This is my country." This is my country, land of my birth. This is my country, grandest on earth. I pledge thee my allegiance, America the bold, for this is my country, to have and to hold. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. O Most High God, we approach you today with grateful hearts as we realize the many blessings you've bestowed upon our community and especially on our Rotary Club. You've given us such strong leadership this past year as President Mike has stepped up to the plate in giving his time, his effort, talents, and dedication to lead us following so many other worthy Rotary presidents of the past. We are grateful for the Rotary staff who give such strong support in every avenue of our work together. And we look forward to a continued quality of leadership in President Hannibal as he leads us in serving the needs of our community and our world. We ask that you would equip him and all those in leadership roles with skills and abilities that will allow our club to recognize where we need to serve and put into action all that needs to be done. We pray for continued creative minds and servant hearts and energetic work styles that can accomplish what pleases you the most. So may we all walk in humility of spirit, hopeful of our future, and have the ultimate joy in working together in this great organization. praising you always. Amen.
Emmy Kate is in the house.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this auspicious occasion at the Rotary Club of Tulsa. We're so glad that many of you brought guests. Some of us brought more guests than others. For instance, outgoing President Mike Homan. Guests include his lovely wife, Ginger Homan, his Casey Homan, his granddaughter, Emmy Kate Homan, Ryan Homan, Lanny McIntosh of the McIntosh Group, Ashley Norris of Terracon, Jenny Hammock of BKL, and David Cobb of Terracon, who is also a member of another Rotary Club. I know we normally welcome everyone at once, but let's give a round of applause for Pat Mikes. For the rest of you, as I call your name, if you and your guests would please rise for a moment so we can see you, and then we'll have a round of applause for everyone when we're done. Monica Martin brought a guest, Monica Champ of the TCC Foundation. Past President Tim Colwell brought with him the lovely and talented Patty Colwell. Sid Shupak has with him the lovely and talented Susan Shupak, the lovely and talented Matt Redmond, and the lovely and talented Lynn Seitz as well. And past President Chuck Wilson brought with him Dave Stout. Jerry Barrientos has two guests, Alan Baylog, and it says here Princess Emily Barrientos. I believe that's a daughter. First time we've had a princess here. Jerry, thank you. Lou Ann Buehlinger brought with her former Sarge and past member Catherine DeCamp. Catherine, so nice to see you. Jack McGlumphy brought Charles Groom and Dana with him. Linda Wilson has guest Debbie Wells of Penwell. Jeff Hassel brought Madison Mosier. Stephanie Cameron brought Daniel Regan of City Council District 4 candidate. Is that true, Daniel? Congratulations. Please join me in welcoming our guests. Visiting Rotarians from Club number 29, downtown Oklahoma City, Randy McDaniel. Hi, Randy. And from Southside Rotary, past District Governor Don Dendas. Hi, Don. Thank you all for being guests today. We hope you enjoy the program.
Thanks, Jerry, and thanks, Carl. Appreciate you, as always, and welcome guests. If you are looking for a place where you can make friends and network with Tulsa's leading business and community leaders, this is the place for you. It's a great place to serve your community and serve the world. We would love to have you join our fun club here. And thank you to all of our meeting volunteers who make our meeting run smoothly each week. Thank you, volunteers. And let's thank our meeting sponsors whose sponsorships help defray the cost of running our club. This week we have Harvey Rowe with Ameritrust, Bill and John Rothrock with my favorite cleaners, Yale Cleaners, Terry Heritage with Interim Healthcare, and Roger Dunham with Accent Realtors. As always, we encourage you to consider doing business with your fellow Rotarians. Thanks, sponsors. And aren't those steaks just fabulous? Man, yeah. So let's see, can Steve Clark and Scott Petty and Cliff Johnson, can you guys please stand so we can give you a thank you? It's like 600 degrees out there, and they're standing over a hot grill. We want to acknowledge too. Hasty Bake actually donates the grills for us to use on our steak day, and then our steaks come from Burnco, and so that's if you're loving what you got, go visit Burnco, and cook it in a Hasty Bake grill. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So as we're sunsetting on this year, we got to get ready for next year. Committee sign-up sheets are on your tables. So please take a look at those and consider where can you invest your talents next year and help out our club. Cards are on the table for Eddie Barclay. Eddie had some surgery, recovering well, I understand, but if you wouldn't mind, jot him a note of encouragement, and we'll make sure he gets those. And then our next Medical Supply Network work day is July 14th from 8 a.m. to noon. So put that on your calendar. I'm going to be there, and we'll hope to see several of you there. We are going to move, you all received a copy of some changes to our bylaws, and I'm sure there are several of you that just pored over those and spent hours reading that. And my apologies, but we're going to kick that can down the road a little bit. We'll take that vote in the future. So if you didn't spend hours poring over that, you still have time. That's the good news. We'll take care of that in Hannibal's year. Now we have, this is a great way to finish a year. We have a red badge presentation. Kurt Helen is joining us, and John Stava is going to introduce him. And John DeBar, thanks again for all of the orientations you've done this year. You've done a great job. Appreciate you.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. I'm really pleased to be here today. I'm not here to introduce myself, but I am Jeff's dad, if you remember. Now, it's my opportunity to bring a new member into the club, Kurt Helen. Kurt was a graduate from OSU, and in construction management, which is, of course, our trade. Kurt immediately left Oklahoma and went to a foreign territory, Arlington, and went to work for another general contractor there and accumulated 15 years of experience before his wife suggested that they move back to Tulsa, where she was from. He was from Oklahoma City. Kurt has worked his way up in another construction company as the executive vice president for Oklahoma and for Tulsa and Oklahoma City before he decided to join with me. And I'm very pleased to have him on board with me, and I'm very pleased to introduce him to you, Kurt Helen.
Thank you.
There we are. His Rotarian badge and Gred badge. He's got a long list of things he has to do as a yearling, and the four-way test. And the four-way test, actually, I want you to know that he already embodies the spirit of the four-way test.
Thank you, John. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Kurt, for joining us. I look forward to working with you. I know you're eager to get involved, and we're going to enjoy working beside you. Okay, so I have a few minutes here to say some thank yous and visit with you a little bit about our year in review before they grab this microphone from me, so I'm going to take advantage of that. So now I want to recognize and thank some different leadership groups who have been the engine driving this club forward this year. They often work behind the scenes and with very little fanfare, and they do what they do because they love this club and they love what this club does in our community. So first, I would like to ask, if you served on the board of directors, would you please rise so we can show you our appreciation? Thank you, and I remind you, I asked the board to start meeting like 6 months before the year started. So their 1 year commitment turned into a year and a half, and I really appreciate that. It really allowed us to hit the ground running this year and get some neat things done, as you'll hear in a minute. And as we all know, the committees are really where the rubber meets the road in this club. That's where things get done. So if you were a committee chair this year, would you please stand so we can thank you? And then I also want to thank long-range planning, led by John O'Connor this year. A lot of people don't really understand that we even have a long-range planning committee because it really operates behind the scenes. But their job is to consider those things that will impact our club well into the future. And they had an extra busy job this year, and I so appreciate them. So John, can you, and I don't know who else here is from long-range planning, but if you're from long-range planning, can you please stand? Oh, there's Brenda. Thank you. Kind of the same, the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation trustees. These are the people that manage our foundation, the money that we have in our foundation, make sure it's growing, and that we have more and more money each year to donate to local nonprofits and then to help out on our Nicaragua water well project. And this year's trustees were led by Duff Weddle, and I know he's not here today, but if you are a trustee, could you please stand so we can say thanks to you? Any? Yep. Another group is the past presidents group, which I'm about to join. Past presidents, a couple things. They meet twice a year for dinner, and as incoming, or I guess president-elect and then president, you get invited to this prestigious dinner and get the benefit of all their years of experience when they led the club. Plus, they're always there before the meeting, after the meeting, during the week as president to offer you a kind word, a word of encouragement and support. So if you are a past president of this club, could you please stand so we can say thank you? Our office staff. Well, I don't even know where to start with our office staff this year. They've been through so many changes. But Rochelle, Tommy Lynn, Ryan, will you all three please stand? Yeah. Tina's not here. She's with Hannibal and Becky and John at the Rotary International Convention in Toronto. But I just can't say enough about what you all did this year. I mean, you're amazing in a normal year, but with changing our executive director this year, I know it had to be difficult to stay focused on the day-to-day operations, but they did. They put in a lot of time and effort. Rochelle, I'll never be able to thank you enough for getting me started on this year. You were a guiding hand that I needed to get started, and I always appreciate that. Probably for the first time, it took 2 executive directors to get a president through their year. Haven't quite figured out why yet. I didn't think I was that difficult, but maybe so. But no, I appreciate everything the office staff has done. And then I want to thank the company that gives me a paycheck every 2 weeks, Terracon. They have always, through my career, been very supportive of my involvement in Rotary. And so I always appreciate that. When I was asked to put my name in for this position, they were very supportive. And so I appreciate that. Cliff has always been a big supporter of Rotary. But I particularly want to thank Ashley. And Ashley, you need to stand up so we can say thank you to you. Ashley works with me, and she is an amazing person to help at the office, but she's also done a great job helping me with Rotary. As president of the club, you try to separate work and Rotary as much as you can, but it's just impossible. And Ashley is always there to lend a helping hand, help me keep keep the wheels rolling at the office, so I appreciate that, Ashley. Thank you. And then my family. I'm trying to make it, Charles. Where are you? Where's Charles? My wife, Ginger, who is my rock. I would not have agreed to take this on if I didn't have Ginger there to walk by me. And she's been very supportive, very encouraging, very understanding, very patient. And I'll always appreciate that, Ginger. So I love you very much. Thank you. And then here today, as Carl said, is our oldest son, Ryan, and his wife, our daughter-in-law, Casey, and granddaughter of the best granddaughters ever, Emmy Kate. Our daughter, Megan, and our youngest son, Nathan, are out of the state right now, so they weren't able to be here. But they've all been very supportive, and I just appreciate everything you've done through this year. Okay. So now I just kind of want to do a quick review of the year, and this isn't going to take much more than about an hour and 45 minutes. So, now as you remember, going into this year, we had a new strategic plan that we were asked to dive into and really bring it alive this year. And our leadership team developed some very specific tasks around our strategic plan focused on share, engage, and grow. And share, engage, and grow we did this year. And it all started with our programs. Tim Caldwell and his program committee, I think all can agree, did a fabulous job bringing some top-notch programs. Yes. You know, Tim, when I asked him to do this, first he was so relieved because he thought I was going to ask him to chair IBA. But his deal was, I'll only agree to do it if you'll agree that we're only going to do top-notch programs. And I'm like, absolutely. And it started off with Sally Smith, CEO of Buffalo Wild Wings, and just week after week after week. And, you know, we ended with the infamous Jeff Stava and Tony Moore with The Gathering Place. And even, I mean, last week with Rose Washington, it's just been a fabulous program. So thank you, Tim, for all the work that you put into that. Yep. So when our Sergeant at Arms, Charles Sechrist, and I sat down a year and a half ago and talked about the role of the Sergeant at Arms, what we wanted that to look like this year, what we agreed on was that we wanted our meetings to be fun and engaging. Our hope was that when you leave here at 1 o'clock, that you're leaving with a smile on your face and a little skip in your step, hopefully. And Charles, I don't know where he's at. Where is Charles? He's not here. Anyway, he did a fabulous job. And I have had so many positive comments about him being so engaging. Let's thank Charles if we can. And then this year we hired, for the first time, a PR firm, Resolute. And Monica Martin and her communications committee made great progress in working with Resolute and helping us to get better at telling our story, both internally and externally. We are now very active on Facebook, and we've been in the Tulsa World, the GTR newspapers, and several other publications on several occasions. We were even in the Tulsa World again last week. There was an article about Rose Washington visiting with us and talking to us. So, Monica, Resolute, thank you so much for moving us forward this year. And Monica was super busy this year, and her and Kip Lycum launched our mentor program this year. And that has gotten off to a huge success. We had several social gatherings with a bunch of people at each one. Most of them were at Kip's house, which we appreciate. But it's proving to be a great opportunity for our new members who are paired with either a past president or another Rotarian to really get to know more Rotarians and more about Rotary and build a good network. So we appreciate that. Thank you, Monica, for leading that up, and Kip. Is Kip here? No, he's gone already for the summer. Okay, but thank you, Monica. Appreciate it. So for us to better reflect the diversity of our community, we must first be more diverse in our leadership positions. We know that to be true. This year, half of our board was female. And I got to tell you, that added strength to our discussions and our decisions, and I'm so glad that we were able to be a more diverse board this year. We still have work to go as a club, but we are headed in the right direction. This year, we limited our community grants from the Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation to 4 $17,000 awards for the first time. And the recipients this year reflected our goal of supporting women and children in need. And Stephen Robards, thank you so much for making that all possible this year. And finally, because our strategic plan aligns so well with the goals of Rotary International, we met the goals set forth by this year's Rotary International President, Ian Risley, and we have received word that we will be the recipient of the Presidential Award this year. So we'll look forward to that. Yeah. So all of that, plus a new executive director, plus a new dues structure, a new food caterer, a new backdrop, just another year in the life of Rotary, right? It was a busy year, and it went crazy fast, but it's been fun. Okay, so now one of the neat things you get to do as president is select a Rotarian of the Year. And as you've seen, a lot of people helped us accomplish a lot of great things this year. And I'll never be able to say thank you enough to everyone that's helped out. And because there are so many hardworking people who step up and help when asked, quite frankly, selecting a Rotarian of the Year is quite a daunting task. There's a lot to choose from, because it truly does take a village to move this club forward. However, today, we are recognizing and thanking a person who has served this club with great distinction this year. This person was intentionally asked to step into a director role that was focused on the area of service where I felt that we needed to make the most progress this year. This person was asked to serve because she is driven, she is focused, she is organized, and she is passionate about Rotary. Please join me in welcoming to the podium the 2017-2018 Rotarian of the Year, Katie Johnson. So Katie's a little gimpy right now, so I feel bad about having her get up here, but she's deservingly so. So as club service director, Katie oversaw the operations of 8 committees: budget, communications, invocations and memorials, programs, long-range planning, song and pledge, sponsorships, and then technology and program production. The committees under Katie's responsibility were instrumental in helping us better share our story. They were also focused on making our meetings more engaging to Rotarians and our guests. This year was particularly challenging for the club service areas as we reduced our club's budgeted expenses, hired a PR firm for the first time, and hired a new executive director. But Katie worked tirelessly with each committee chair and made sure they had the tools to be successful in accomplishing the goals set forth for their committee. She was a tireless advocate for her committee chairs and for the office staff. She challenged the committee chairs to develop new ideas and then help them move those ideas forward. She also challenged her fellow board members to consider and approve new and fresh ways of doing things. Katie focused a considerable amount of time before our year started and throughout the year working with Monica Martin and the Communications Committee. She helped drive both short-term and long-term communication strategies that support us telling our story and engaging with each other in our community now and well into the future. Katie, thank you for your tireless efforts and all the time you spent. Again, please join me in thanking our Rotarian of the Year, Katie Johnson. Okay. So as we draw this year to a close, I want to thank you for making this one of the most fun and one of the most rewarding years of my life. While I'm pleased and I'm proud of all the things we've accomplished, what makes this year particularly rewarding to me is you. And you are why I am so encouraged about the future of this club. Even with all the busyness of your day-to-day lives, I see you extend a helping hand to each other on several occasions. Usually these are done incognito, behind the scenes, in quiet moments. But I see you encourage each other with a kind word, a hug, an arm around the shoulder, resulting in that person who maybe was having a tough day, a tough go of it, leaving the conversation, walking a little taller, and with a little more spring in their step. And we are all aware that we are a very philanthropic club. Time and time again, I see you give generously of your time and your treasures to those in our community who are in need. The thing is, there are so many times that so many of you are not aware of that this is done anonymously. A need will arise, and someone will step forward asking, "How can I help?" People you don't know and will probably never meet need some assistance, and you make it happen. It is through your care and concern for those in need that we make a difference in people's lives here in Tulsa and around the world. So I see each of you day in and day out putting others' needs before your needs. And I wonder, how is it with all the daily challenges that you face that you're so tuned into and sensitive to the needs of others? And of course, it varies from person to person, but I do see a common theme. And that theme is empathy and a deep, deep desire to serve the needs of others before your own needs. You do it without thinking about it because it comes from your heart. And that's why at the end of each week's meeting, I encourage you to go out and tell your Rotary story. Because I promise you, each and every time you do, you inspire someone. Your life story has an impact on those you share it with as you inspire them to action. The result being that lives are changed for the better. And that servant leadership characteristic is why this club will be making a difference in the lives of people well into the future. At the end of the meetings, I also ask you to bring a friend to Rotary. And I do this because I will be forever thankful to Tom Reinhardt for inviting me into the Rotary family. If Tom had not reached out, invited me to a meeting, you go, Emmy. I would have missed out on meeting a whole bunch of wonderful people, and I would have missed out on this great experience this year. And so to each of you, I say thank you. Thank you for your servant leader hearts. Thank you for caring for and watching out and supporting each other. Thank you for caring enough to serve the needs and make a difference in our community and communities around the world. And thank you for encouraging me this year with a kind word of support here and there. You made this year a very fun year for me. My wish for each of you is that you will have the opportunity to lead this club someday and have the experience I've had. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's the kind of support I felt like every day this year, so I appreciate that. So now I'm going to introduce our Rotarian of the Day, Tulsa County Commissioner Karen Keith, who is not up for election this time. Karen is a past president, and she is this year's board chair. She's a Paul Harris Fellow +2 and a Rotary Club of Tulsa Foundation Fellow. And she has been another one of those people that have walked with me through this year, and I am so grateful that you agreed to be the chair of our board this year, Karen. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Karen Keith.
Boy, President Mike's passion for Rotary is so obvious. But you know, he's also given us a lot of humor this year. And you know those weekly pronouncements of special theme days that none of us have ever heard of? Who knew an engineer could be so funny? So Mike has been a hoot. But most importantly, as you know, behind the scenes and at the podium, one of our most successful leaders ever. And it was a privilege to serve as his chairman of the board, and Mike, I really thank you for the opportunity. Now, today as a club, we normally give our outstanding president a lovely gift, but not this time. President Mike, nope, he begged off, and I say, here's the quote: "Please take my $300 budgeted for the gift and give it to Rotary International Foundation." So, yeah. We are honoring Mike's wish, and so, Rochelle, if you would please come forward. Mike has something to give you. Okay, turn. Here we go.
Oh, we gotta do this. This is pretty typical how money goes through my hands. Spend it well.
Okay. That's so typical of Mike. All right. So during Mike's year, you know, we rebranded the club using the iconic Golden Driller. Now, Ginger tells me that he loves the Golden Driller. So if we could all do a little drum roll for me, please. All right. To think I paid a lot of money to Delivery by Charles. So Mike has delivered Charles has delivered our Mike Homan Rotary Fashion Plate dummy. So, here we go. Mike, if you'd come over here, please. I don't know if you can hear me. You got a little far away delivery service, but can you hear me? So, Mike anybody wants to have their Mike Homan commemorative rotary pen with a golden driller, you too can have one for only $10. And Ryan will be out back when you leave if you'd like one. They're really kind of cute. And also, if I could see a show of hands, if anybody else wants these T-shirts, we can make an order, and for $20 we can have them. So is anybody interested in owning one of these T-shirts? Okay. We'll order some, and then we'll have them back in the back here in the future. So, all right. Well, thank you. And Mike, I'm just so happy that you have some golden driller memorabilia. You can stay right here, please. Now, in closing, I will say that President Mike Homan has been an absolute rock star for this club. He's just been an absolute joy. So I know he's going to miss that gavel and getting these meetings started every day, so we have something special for him. A lot better than that. Anyway, here we go.
Let me hold that.
Yeah. All right, let's hear one more time for Mike Homan. President Mike. Delivery by Charles. Could you please play your other role right now, sir?
I guess I can.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sorry, Mike. I had to go out in the back as I heard you got teary-eyed, and I just could not handle it. You cry, I cry, we all cry. It's a flood. And to be honest with you, I mean, after last night's vote, there's just such a new meaning to green country. I don't know what to think. So I'm kind of out of it. I'm trying to come up with some new way to relate to some people, so especially as we're driving around town. All right. Hard to believe, right? 52 weeks ago. Yeah, I'd about to say, stand up.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, one of the things when Mike started this, I tried to give him some advice on a little bit of, you know, how do you present yourself up front?
Right.
He had this one little kick that I said something to you, but it never really sunk in. So anyway, I just thought maybe the rest of you all noticed it. Let's just go ahead and play that then. At Christmas time, you really did.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know I had so much in me. Sorry.
So you said.
It was too easy. It was too easy.
Yeah, well, it's endearing in every which way. I mean, it really is endearing. In fact,
it's something.
Oh, wait, Ed? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I'll get out of your way.
Excuse me, is this, okay.
Okay.
I appreciate the orange tie today.
So, as any Rotarian knows, a commitment to be president of the club is really a 3-year commitment. You have president-elect and president, and then you're serving on the board as past president. And you've done considering you've been saddled with 2 degrees of questionable merit, Oklahoma State and Arkansas, you've done a pretty good job. So, and it's been a year of firsts, as you've enumerated, but so we did receive another first. We received a request from outside the club that your tenure as president be continued for the foreseeable future. That
For
don't
like,
you
for
don't
like
stop
2 days?
serving, like
until...
no, like ad infinitum. It's going to go on forever. So we put a committee together to investigate this request, and it would involve a change of the bylaws. It would involve a whole bunch of stuff, but we wanted to investigate where this came from, who was involved, what the Russians' part in the whole thing was. And so, well, Miguel, let's run the video, and maybe this will help answer the questions.
So, Mike being president of the Rotary Club of Tulsa has been a blessing to all of those close to him, like me. Living with an engineer can take years off your life. He sees what can be, and he takes off. So, Mike loves me, but I do get concerned I'm just a cut above engineering. When we first started dating, I asked him, is love in the air? And he said, no, Ginger. There's nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide in the air. So,
So, engineering makes you everything but an engineer. We all worry about Mike through the years as he creates mentally, but then wants to try it physically. So, this last year, we have all been able to sleep better because he has been rotary busy.
Need an arc? I know a guy. Get it? Noah, arc. Dad throws that joke at me after every service. I have to say, I put a lot in God's hand, yes. Dad is definitely one of those I have to just pray for constantly, but this last year it's been a bit less. So, maybe I should be praying for his term to be extended.
So, Dad as president of Rotary allowed me to have a child. He has given me some really interesting advice, but I've learned how dangerous an engineer's advice can be. Dad's advice for me? Buying a pen and having it till the very end of school is a bigger achievement than having a girlfriend. So, we really need him to be president another year. Or 5.
So, all I know, as soon as President Mike's term comes to an end, he's showing me how to manipulate 2 active chainsaws with a broom while gliding down a zip line.
Solving problems you didn't know you had in ways you don't understand. I don't even know how to understand that, but Dad has said it to me often. Except in the past year. So, maybe he should be president for another year. Or 5.
So, Mike is a valuable asset here at Terracon. His courage, mixed with an incredible vision, is wrapped up not only in the can-do spirit, but the I can do spirit. Well, the last year at the company, our insurance cost has dropped by 74%. So, we got that going for us.
We submitted our findings to our new executive director, Tina Miller, for the final decision.
So, except for Tim Nall, who obviously provides President Mike with the opportunity to manipulate trees in a high-risk adventure in the name of engineering, these are all people outside the club with an obvious agenda. So, this request will be a big no. But we do wish you the very best of wisdom, health, and contentment. We really, really do.
Darn.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, we kind of have you pegged a little bit, don't we? Well, and I do appreciate this week. I do have to do one more Sarge. And I was very busy. I was selling my house and everything, so Mike was nice enough to kind of get the slides together for me. So let's show these. Let's see here. Here we go. The first one up. Oh, I understand. Mike Holman, just some cuteness, and I think she was honoring us here just a second ago. So I appreciate that one.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Very
There's
good.
more.
Very good. Next one up. Oh, okay. I guess this is the son and daughter-in-law, right? And they're, okay, I can understand that slide. Okay.
You said you needed help.
I did need help. Thank you very much on that. All right. Well, okay, so we got the 3 slides in. Are you feeling good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, it is the end of the year, and I feel like we got to segue out of this almost the same way we came in, but the Sarge pick of the week, you know, we got to leave the gate closed when we leave. So, just thinking that way. So anyway, when we started the year, we had a little music involved, right?
Yes, we did.
We did, and So I figured we might finish out the year a little bit.
I would love
with
it.
some music.
I would love it.
I've got several restraining orders from me for. This one is actually from the deceased. So.
Really?
In fact, 3 or 4 of them from deceased.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
Yeah.
So with that said, let me honor you with a goodbye song, okay?
I would be honored.
Okay. In fact, I'll just come up there and join you.
Oh.
Mike, the two of us, we've had some fun. We must face the year has all but done. You have let me show some class while you refrained your sass. You don't have to ask. An engineer can be a blast. An engineer can be a blast. I had to do my own backup vocals. Mike, you're always running here and there. Pressure needed almost everywhere. When you get the time to look, there's something you should know. I gotta read these words. No matter where you go, Rotary loves you so. Rotary loves you so.
Charles and I have had like way too much fun this year together, but it's been such a pleasure getting to know him, and that's the beauty of this club, is there are so many great people in this club with such great stories, such great sense of humors, that you just can't go wrong by joining this club. And so I love you all. Wow, did not realize I said that often. Okay. Now I'm thinking about it, see, it's in my head. Upcoming programs. Next week is the 4th of July, and we will not be meeting, so do not show up here. Our next meeting is on July 11th, and it'll be our inaugural meeting with President Hannibal Johnson, and I am so excited about Hannibal's year as president. I've gotten to know him so much closer this year, and he has such passion for Rotary and for our community. He's got some great things planned for us this year. It's going to be a great year, and I'm so looking forward to supporting him. So I would encourage you, please show up on July 11th. And hear what he has to say. I'm sure he'll share. He's at the Rotary International Convention too, so I'm sure he'll share what he saw there. So with that, I encourage you. Yeah, again. Wow. With that, I encourage you, go out, tell your Rotary story, and don't forget to bring a friend to Rotary on July 11th. We are dismissed.